Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely, and here's the situation. And forgive me, you're gonna have to use your imagination a bit on this one. But you've thrown your drive. You're 150 feet from the hole, but the target's there. Using your imagination, there's a whole bunch of bushes and other obstacles between you and the basket. The only window to get to the hole is straight up above you. What do you do? This video is part of my utility shot series. Be sure to subscribe to get updates when other videos in this series come out. So when you throw over the tops of trees, you basically have three options. There's the thumber, which is going to fly to the left and to the right, which means hit that window on the way to the target, the disc is going to land off to the right. The second option is the tomahawk. It's the opposite flight of the thumber. It's going to fly from right to left, meaning you throw over the gap straight at the hole, the disc is going to land to the left. Here's how to know when it's a grenade shot. Imagine for a second that in your golf bag you had a magical baseball. And that magical baseball, when it hits the ground, it stops dead in its tracks. If you have a lie where the best shot to get to the hole would be to throw a baseball straight up and down over the trees and have it stop when it hits the ground, that's when you're going to choose the grenade, because that's what the grenade does. It doesn't go right to left, nor does it go left to right. It goes straight up, straight down, and stops on a dime. All the grenade is simply a backhand thrown upside down. But there's more to the shot than meets the eye. But before I tell you how to throw this shot correctly, I want to give a brief history, because I think the history of the grenade is kind of interesting. So I credit Sam Ferens with inventing this shot. Now, Sam didn't invent throwing a frisbee upside down on a frisbee golf course. Someone probably did that 20 minutes into the invention of the sport. The reason I give Sam the credit for inventing it is because he is the first player that I'm aware of to put this shot in his bag, use it as a weapon, compete and win major tournaments with it, and most importantly, he went out and taught other players how to throw it. There is, however, one major drawback when throwing this shot, and that is it hurts. The harder you throw it, the more it hurts, and the colder it is outside, it really hurts. If you throw the grenade hard in 35 degrees, it feels like your thumb is going to be degloved. And yes, degloved is an actual word. Kinda sucks. Worth it because score is more important than a little bit of pain, but not fun. We threw this shot for about 25 years, and then about 10 years ago, a player came up with the correct way to throw it. And I'm going to make a whole separate video about the history of the grenade, because I was tracing its lineage and it follows these rabbit holes, and I think that's another interesting story. But what this player came up with was, instead of just throwing a backhand upside down, you take your index finger and middle finger, you place the disc upside down between them, you take your index finger, you press it on the rim, and then you put your thumb over the index finger. Now, the first time someone showed me this, my exact response was, yeah, I'm not falling for that. Grenades hurt bad enough as it is. I promise you, this is the correct way to throw this shot. It flies farther, probably by about 50% than a traditional grenade, and doesn't hurt. So all you do is you take this and you throw it backhand with hyzer. Now, the cool thing about the grenade is that it's the most forgiving shot in all of disc golf. If you throw it horizontal, it almost immediately turns to vertical and then stays there. You throw it with about 45 degrees hyzer, it almost immediately turns to vertical and stays there. No matter how you throw the disc, it gets to straight vertical and stops, as long as it's an overstable disc, which is the most common situation you're going to throw this shot, straight up and down. Now, we'll tell you there's a variation of this throw where you choose a disc that's understable, that flies upside down and then continues like a lefty hyzer and then fades off to the right. That is a sick, neat shot to learn. But most of the time, a traditional straight up and down is the shot you want to throw. So again, all you do, index finger on the rim, squeeze the inside, put the thumb over it, throw a spike hyzer. And that shot becomes routine. And again, be sure to subscribe and get updates on all the utility shots and other teaching videos on my channel.